Hey everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. I am Austin Ward, joined by my good friend, former Ohio State tackle, Reid Fragel. It's that time to dig it into the trenches. When you play this game in particular, Reid, every game you kind of win. You want to win the rushing battle, and you want to win the line of scrimmage. But why is the game and going up to Michigan, why is it even more important for this one?
Well, I think from my perspective, Ed Warner being up there, loved Coach Warner when he was at Ohio State, but I think there is a little bit of a, rivalry within itself. I think within the O-line, I think they want to outperform the other O-line. I think Ed is definitely going to be honing on his guys, getting in their ear, basically hyping them up for this game because he wants to make a statement himself. So I think there's going to be that element of this, but that aside, I think just as a player, this is the platform that, up to this point, maybe if you weren't that big, guy on the O-line, you can make a play that can basically propel you into an NFL career, just like you kind of see with Zach Bourne and that hit he had in the Michigan game. That stuff like that can happen on this stage. So even as an O-lineman, you're looking at this game the same way.
I remember we were talking in the offseason, we were talking last year, like Ohio State in the offensive line, they just weren't getting it quite done the way they wanted to with the rushing game and being physical up front. Now 11 games into this, it's hard to argue with the results for this group. What have you thought about the approach, about the way they've handled themselves up front this year?
Well, I think I've said this before, but I think it's the deepest group and the best, most talented group we've had at Ohio State in quite some time. I think you saw the adversity that they were faced with at the tackle position early on or middle of the season there. Mm-hmm. But just the way that they were able to just continue on flawlessly, I think things like that you won't find in every program. I think you'll see, maybe some programs like a Northwestern or something like that, that will be detrimental to their season. Mm-hmm. Where with us, we didn't miss a beat. If anything, we just reloaded a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just overall impressed with how talented and how consistent they've been as a group from week one on. Really, there hasn't been a week that I felt like, this is still early in the season. Let's see how they are in 8 weeks from now. They'll build on this. I never really found myself saying that early on in the year. So from week one, they've been consistent.
Yeah, and they've answered against the best rush defenses they've faced, whether that was Wisconsin in October or last week against Penn State. That opening drive sent a clear message about these Buckeyes and what they can do on the ground game. So Reid is going to break that down for us right now. Let's roll the tape. All right, Reid, these first drives of the game, that's where you want to go out and set the tone, and Ohio State did that. This is the first play of the game, sending that message to that Penn State rush defense.
Yeah, a little misdirection here. The line's blocking down, like they're expecting some kind of stretch maybe to the right here, and just a quick zone read option there and gives it off, and Dobbins handles the rest of it. But these are plays that you want to start the game with and bust out a nice 15, 20-yard gain with to kind of set the tone.
And attaching to this, I think Jeremy Ruckert was out there quite a bit. I like to give, since you've played both the tight end and offense, so you got to give these guys the tight end and tackle some credit too.
Exactly, yeah. Well, how they're selling this down all the way down. Look at that. You got Thayer all the way down there. Look at all the space. The D-line's eating it up over here. They have no idea where the hell this ball is going. So you leave that much space for Dobbins out there, he's going to handle the rest of it.
Yeah, big play to start the game there. And the first drive was not perfect as we go through it, but no game is ever going to be. But this is still an example of a play that didn't even look like it was blocked all that great, but JK still gets 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, anytime you block for 3 or 4 yards there, that's a win as a lineman. That's, I think 3.5 yards is what we considered a winning play as a lineman. Mm-hmm. So that right there, it doesn't look that sexy, but it's still a winning play as a lineman. This, you'll see the draw. He didn't really have a successful run out of here, but you'll see, throughout the rest of the game, the draw, in my opinion, was one of the most deadly plays, I think, in this game against Penn State's defense. Once you give him time back there, you'll see here, I think, he splits it. O-line does the rest of it, and that should have been a call right there. I don't know why it wasn't, but shot to the head there. But yeah, I think the draw is really lethal in this game. And I think the shot here, I thought this would have been a hell of a catch.
Protection holds up. Like the protection in this game, Reid, was not the best of the season, and you have to give Penn State credit for that too. But Justin was able to get this throw off the way it needed to be. Just didn't get all the way downfield. Maybe a little bit of pressure here on his left.
Yeah, Thayer. He doesn't give up a sack or anything, but that's that penetration there on the outside. Justin can feel that. He senses that. So maybe he does rush his throw a little bit. But at the end of the day, I still think he makes a hell of a throw, and that ball could have been caught. But great recovery by Thayer with everything given. But that would have been a great way to start the game. That was pretty electric.
Didn't turn out quite the way Ohio State wanted, and they get into this situation right here. Another one that they don't block up quite as well as they wanted. What happened here, Reid?
Well, I think Thayer, he's battling with this D-end here all day, and give credit to that D-end. He played a hell of a game, I think. But you'll see the linebacker jumps up and forces the outside move for the DN. He reads that, feels Thayer on the inside of him. He knows he's got his backer inside, so he's able to take the edge. He's probably outside responsibility. And that's just, impossible for Thayer to block 2 guys there. So typically you want to take one away from with the zone read option, get him to bite on it, give enough time for the handoff for JK to make a move. But here it's just kind of a poorly developed play.
Might have looked different if one had kept it. I don't know if he had the option to there or not.
Sometimes maybe if that backer was creeping a little bit earlier.
But this is an example, too, of sometimes the offensive line needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, and that's why you love to have a guy like back there. That's what Braxton was like for me back in the day. You always could rely on, if maybe something does go south as a lineman, protection goes weary, you have an athlete back there that can make a play like this. Mm-hmm. And having that in your back pocket as a lineman just makes you that much better.
Do you want to just keep forcing him, back here to let Fields take the space in front of him, or what's the thinking when you get to that situation and you're in Thayer's boots here?
Well, as a tackle, you want to there's supposed to be enough space, about, I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's about 6 to 7 yards. You want to have an edge and have that ability for the quarterback to step up and make a play like this. You don't want to have a soft edge to where he's able to reach, as you see at the end of this play here, and get some kind of cloth on the quarterback to where you can maybe grab him by the shoulder, and then you got an injury you're talking about. So maybe it is a little bit soft of an edge here, but Justin Fields can sense that again. He steps up, like right there, that hand I'm talking about. That shouldn't have to happen, but he's an athlete. He makes a hell of a play out of this. This cut right here, that's next level stuff. But I guess as we see later in the game, these kind of plays have worried me all season. I'm sure just like the rest of Ohio State fans that, there's going to be that one shot that
knocks
could change the season. So
even late in the game here, when Justin Fields was scrambling. But as this drive would go on, you could sort of get the sense that, Penn State was beaten down or confused. Like, teams had not run on them like this all year. I think they'd given up 75 yards per game on the ground. By the time this one winds up in the end zone, it was 91 for Ohio State. That just hadn't happened. That's a big credit, not just to Fields and J.K. Dobbins, but as you know, these 5 guys up front.
Yeah, you're looking at a 10-play drive, 11-play drive, I think, right now. As an offensive lineman, you're getting tired, but you also know those guys across from you are getting beat down. They see that line of scrimmage just moving back further on them. It becomes a moment where you're kind of defeating their will, and that's just no better feeling in football, I think, as a lineman, just sensing that from the guy across from you and knowing you got him. And then the touchdown to cap it all off is.
And then you got the push here. Who gets the most credit from those 5 guys for this one?
I'll run it back. Let's see. I want to say Jonah, maybe.
Looks like you got 2 guys sealed there, huh?
Yeah, a little bit of Thayer there, but that's a poorly missed tackle also by that backer there. But obviously Dobbins makes a little move there. He's able to keep his knee off just enough to reach in. That's just an NFL play right there from Dobbins.
The running back has to be responsible for one of them, right?
Exactly. That's his guy. He made a little bit, just enough of a move there to get just 4 yards. So,
see, I'm learning as we go on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Ohio State there, that offensive line imposing its will against Penn State to help them win the Big Ten East Division. Another huge matchup on Saturday in the Big House in the rivalry, the game. The team that runs the ball best tends to win that one. We'll see what happens on Saturday at noon. Appreciate Reid Fragel hanging out with us at Lettermen Row for BuckIQ. I'm Austin Ward. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live. We've got the practice report. We got rapid reaction. Hey, and we got BuckIQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.